This is called Anachronistic Sanctimony, written by Nassim Nicholas Taleb. Principle: moral decisions must be synchronous to contemporaneous values and beliefs and cannot be flowed back retrospectively. As in the Talmud, people can only be critical of others of their own generation. As in Genesis, Noah was a righteous man. He was blameless in his age. He was righteous even in his generation. It follows that had he lived in a generation of righteous people, he would have been even more righteous, owing to the force of good example. Others, however, explain it to his discredit. In comparison with his own generation, he was accounted righteous, but had he lived in the generation of Abraham, he would have been accounted as of no importance. Anachronistic sanctimony consists in accusing ancient individuals or groups of violating today's ethical norms, more generally, imparting values, beliefs, and standards backwards in time. Saying Aristotle was sexist or Nietzsche was a racist should only be used in what probabilists call adapted to filtration at time, their period, not the current period. There's nothing particularly wrong in reporting that ancients deprived a given subgroup of equality. It is neither fair nor useful, nor even epistemologically stable to use or to flow back isms in time with the negative connotation they convey. Moral values might have been different at the time. They progressed, just like knowledge progresses. Using isms is no different from blaming the ancients for not understanding the existence of germs or calling them obscurantists. The very accusation is equivalent to saying that moral values do not evolve. Anyone reading these lines will eventually be accused of violating norms, say yours truly for having had foie gras back at New Year's Eve in 2021, or even just having had non-plant milk in my cappuccino in 2023. Flowing back standards can be so toxic that following such a logic, we will certainly end up censoring every non-vegetarian architect and demolishing her structures. The argument of moral relativism does not apply in this case, since if morality is fixed and temporal and universal, there is an element of discovery. It is still impossible for someone without a time machine to be informed of it. We are equating moral values here to knowledge available in humans in a given time and place of such values. This is similar to mathematics. We're not inventing new theorems, but discovering relationships that exist independent of the observer. Note that they are historical characters on whom one can justifiably give a harsh judgment, such as Napoleon, who, among other inequities, reinstated slavery in the French colonies and overrode the abolition by the French Revolution, or Cato, who treated his slaves poorly by the standards of his day. Plutarch blamed him for selling his old slaves, but it could be an expression of Greek pride to compare him to the Athenians, who rewarded mules who built the Acropolis with a privileged retirement. Asymmetry. If one cannot retrospectively impart blame, can one retrospectively impart virtue? Indeed, we should. That's exactly how evolution works. Consider the Rosa Parks case of civil disobedience. People who partake of changing the norms and values of a culture must be praised for something that was not acceptable in their time. Rosa Parks being a fantastic example. Anachronistic Sanctimony by Nassim Nicholas Taleb.